Hi, it's Pastor Paul L. Anderson here at the Fountain of Raleigh Fellowship, where we believe God's blessings never stop flowing. It is nothing more than a terrific Tuesday. God has been so great to us. All of us had the opportunity on yesterday to celebrate the Independence Day of our country, the United States of America. And I hope we could all celebrate a personal independence, that we have been freed from the penalty and the price of sin because of what Jesus Christ did for us at Calvary. All of our sins have been washed away and we are born again. I hope you are definitely free from that penalty of sin and that you and I are walking in newness of life. It is a terrific Tuesday. It is so great to know how God has brought us this far, and he will continue to lead us forward. I ask that you would look with me into 2 Kings, the 5th chapter, verses 19 through 27 from the New Living Translation, a message that I have entitled, It Really Wasn't Worth All That. It really wasn't worth all that. Our story today finds it that the prophet Elisha, the one in whom he has just done a very powerful miracle, he spoke through and by the message from God to a man named Naaman. Now remember, Naaman was this leader of all the armies, and Naaman had such a great decorated career that he was the greatest administrator around. He had several hundreds of men, thousands of persons who were under his command. He was truly a champion, a leader of his day. But Naaman found himself having a situation. He had an illness. He had something that caused him to be what we would call disadvantaged. And that is, he finds himself having leprosy. See, leprosy was a dreaded disease of their day. You would be banished to a leper's colony. And not only that, you would have to withdraw from being in the public eye, and you had to be away from everything and everybody. And whenever you came around people, if they saw you, you had to yell, unclean, unclean, unclean. And people had to stay far away from you. You couldn't go home. You couldn't be with the ones that you love. Many of them were sent to lepers' colonies. And so Naaman finds himself in an awkward situation. He goes to see the man of God because his wife's personal assistant had said, if you go see the prophet Elisha, I believe he can help you. Naaman goes, he sees Elisha. Elisha tells him to dip 7 times in the Jordan. He does that. Naaman comes with all of these gifts to give Elisha. But Elisha tells him, pack it all up and take it back. And so as he packs it up and takes it back, he says, I don't understand. I thought I was doing what I was supposed to do. I thought I was supposed to bring an offering. I thought I was supposed to give something to this prophet as my way of saying, I thank God for him healing me and using you. But Elisha, for whatever the reason, he tells him, pack it up and take it all back with you. You know, I ask myself the question sometimes, is that do we do what we do for the sake of financial compensation? Do we do what we do because of the perks and the blessings that come? Or are we really being obedient to God? So as Naaman packs all of this up, the prophet Elisha has an assistant, Gehazi. So Gehazi sees all of this. He watches Naaman go off, and he's the servant of Elisha. Remember, he's been hanging around the man of God. And so he finds himself saying, this man should not pack up all of this and take it back. He lets him get out of Elisha's sight. And then after he gets out of Elisha's sight, what he does, he follows him. He chases after him and he catches up with him. And he tells him, Naaman, stop before you go anywhere. There has been a change of heart. He says, my master sent me to tell you that you should send all of that back. And so he's wondering, a change of heart? How could this be? Well, really what had happened, Gehazi became greedy. You know, that becomes a danger to those of us who serve and who do our best to serve God. There are so many temptations in this life. So now this materialism is looking him right in the face. And he said, I can't let it get away. And so he tells the other 2 young prophets that are with him, let's take all of this back. He brings it back and he hides it in his own tent. That tells you, first of all, whenever you have to hide something from someone, it's probably not really worth all of that. So he hides everything that he's brought back. And so the prophet Elisha says to him, Gehazi, come here. I need to ask you a question. Where have you been? He says, I haven't been anywhere. You know, that's dangerous. Persons who are part of the ministry, persons who are in the kingdom, persons who find themselves helping God's anointed should not be telling untruths. And so the prophet tells him, no, you're not telling it just right, because I was there in the spirit. I saw what you did. You should not have done that. And he tells him, simply because you lied to me, you took what God didn't want us to have. You took what did not belong to you. You're now going to receive the same thing that Naaman has. You will have leprosy and you will suffer forever. And guess what? Your descendants will now be plagued with this. So it appears as though, because of his disobedience, because of his greed, he has brought death, he has brought damnation, he has brought shame to all of his family. How many of us have allowed ourselves to be greedy and to want those things that really don't belong to us? This becomes a very powerful lesson to remind us all that there is no point in lying. There's no point in being greedy. But what we need to do is that whatever God says you're supposed to have, you're supposed to have. Whatever he says, let it go back. It's for a purpose. I hope you and I can think about this, and I hope you and I can say we have been set free from all of the penalty, the pain, and the deception of sin and riches, because greater is he that is in us than he that is in the world. Please know, in this year of 2022, God has a blessing in store for you, and you are exceedingly and abundantly blessed. And I'll see you on tomorrow.
To sow a seed to the Fountain of Raleigh Fellowship, visit our newly redesigned website, thefountainofraleigh.org, and select Sow a Seed from the homepage. Also, giving has been made easier with the new Fountain of Raleigh app, available now in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. Download today, select Giving from the main menu, and then follow the directions to complete your giving through Subsplash.
Thank you so very much for all of your gifts and donations that you've given to the Fountain of Raleigh Fellowship. We thank you for what you've done in the past, what you're currently doing, and what you will do in the future. Your gifts and donations helps us to spread the gospel of Jesus Christ, not only locally, but throughout the world. Thank you again for your gifts, and may God continue to richly bless you. It is here at the Fountain that we believe that we are exceedingly and abundantly blessed, and may you receive those blessings that God has in store for you.